Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something I think a lot of you will find super relevant. We're going to be talking about skill transformation and how you can actually use the skills you already have for entrepreneurial success.
Sounds pretty exciting, right?
Yeah, so I was reading this book, Pasted Text, and it really got me thinking, how many people out there, maybe even us, have these hidden talents or skills that we could be using to create something amazing?
It's a common misconception that to start a business, you have to be like the absolute best at one specific thing.
Right.
But honestly, it's more about, it's more about combining and adapting the skills you already have.
So not necessarily being like a master chef or a coding whiz or...
Right, exactly.
Okay, so this book, Pasted Text, it talks about skill transformation. So what exactly does that mean?
So skill transformation is really about taking what you're already good at, and yeah, even if it seems completely unrelated to business, and finding ways to apply those skills to something new, maybe even starting your own thing.
Okay, I'm starting to see where this is going. A lot of times we can get stuck in those boxes, oh, I'm a teacher, that's all I can do. But this book uses teachers as a really good example. Like you wouldn't always think of teachers as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, not at first, but then when you actually break down the skills they use every day, it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Teachers are incredible communicators.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it. They have to explain complex ideas in a way that makes sense to everyone, adapting to different learning styles, different paces.
Yeah. And they've got to manage those classrooms, which, let's be honest, can be pretty chaotic sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Crowd control is definitely a skill.
Yeah.
And that translates directly to like managing teams, dealing with difficult clients, all those things you face as an entrepreneur.
Right. It's like every day they're basically running a small business, like
Man.
between lesson planning, coordinating with parents, and all the administrative stuff.
You got it.
Yeah.
And these skills, these seemingly, non-business skills, they become super valuable when you step into the entrepreneurial world, leading a team, crafting those marketing plans, negotiating deals. I mean, these all draw on those core skills that teachers hone every single day. And it makes you think, right,
Yeah.
what skills do you have right now that maybe on the surface seem unrelated to business, but could be incredibly useful if you applied them in a different way? It's a good question for everyone listening, I think.
That's such a good point. And it kind of leads into this really inspiring story that the book tells about a woman named Kat Alder. So Kat actually transitioned from being a waitress to, get this, running a successful international PR firm.
Waitressing to PR, that's quite a leap. What was it about her story that stood out to you?
Well, what I thought was really interesting was that she didn't have any formal PR training or experience.
Oh, wow. So, like, zero background in the field.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting.
But she realized that all those people skills that she developed as a waitress, like building relationships with customers, understanding their needs, and even handling those difficult situations with grace. Well, she was like, hey, these are actually super relevant to PR.
Ah, I see. So she was able to identify those transferable skills. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you know what? It really paid off for her.
Oh, yeah. How so?
In just 4 years, she built this thriving international PR business.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, it really shows you that you don't necessarily need to be an expert to get started. It's more about having those core skills and then learning how to adapt and transform them.
Yeah, and I think it speaks to the power of resourcefulness and just thinking creatively about how to use what you already have.
For sure. And her story is a perfect example of how skills that might seem completely unrelated can actually be combined to create some pretty amazing success. And speaking of combining skills, there's this fascinating concept called the talent stack. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah, vaguely.
So it comes from Scott Adams, the guy who created Dilbert.
Okay, yeah.
And his argument is that, he's not like the world's greatest artist or writer, but his success comes from combining like a bunch of pretty good skills in a unique way. So rather than trying to be a master of one thing, he focuses on building his own unique talent stack.
So it's not about being exceptional at any one skill, but more about the combination and how they work together.
You got it. It's about recognizing the value in your own unique combination of skills.
Interesting.
Think of it like building a house. You need all sorts of different materials, wood, bricks, concrete, each serves its purpose, but it's how they're combined that creates the strength and stability of the structure.
Right. It's the combination that matters, that makes the house stand up, makes it functional.
And just like building a house, Your talent stack can be unique and still produce amazing results.
So, like, someone might be a decent writer, have some basic coding skills, and then, like, be really good at networking.
Exactly. And individually, those might not seem like much, but combined, they could be the foundation for like a super successful online business or something.
That's a really great analogy.
Yeah,
And what I find so fascinating about all of this is that it challenges the traditional idea of what it means to be successful. It's not about being the best or the most talented. It's about being resourceful and understanding how to leverage your strengths, even the ones that seem kind of random.
totally. And it makes you wonder, what seemingly unrelated skills do you have that, when combined, could create something truly amazing? That's what I want everyone listening to think about. Explore those hidden talents. You never know what you might discover about your own potential.